My like low-key prediction is that around September 15th, and I say 15th and people are gonna fucking freak out and be like, oh my god, something about 15th. No, I'm saying 15th because it's the middle of the fucking month. But somewhere around September 15th, I'm assuming, I don't know anything, I'm assuming that there's gonna be a push from Blizzard to start marketing their fucking game. So we're a month and 14 days away from Overwatch 2, and I have not seen a single ad on YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, TV, Crunchyroll, or anime sites, like nothing. It's just zero. So I'm a little concerned, I'm not gonna lie to you, but I am hoping around that time we will start to see some marketing. And when there's some marketing for the game, that means people are gonna want to start to get back into Overwatch 1 right before Overwatch 2, because they, quote, want to get ahead of the curve, right? You know, there's always people that want that, right? Like, Overwatch 1 isn't that different from Overwatch 2. Like, it is fundamentally different, but a lot of the skills do transfer over. Now, you can't play Overwatch 2 like you can play Overwatch 1, or Overwatch 1 like Overwatch 2, but, like, you can learn what the abilities do, how the characters feel, stuff like that in a lot of ways. So people are going to want to come back to Overwatch 1 for those last, like, 2 weeks and, like, play and try to grind and, like, get back into playing it and be good when Overwatch 2 releases so they can get ahead of the game. So I'm hoping that, like, 2 weeks, 3 weeks before Overwatch 2, you see, like, an upturn in, like, viewership and content and people playing the game. But I think I might be being a little bit too optimistic. I don't know. Did you see the meta? Dude, I think the demon just slipped out of me. What was I saying? Dude, I'm not gonna lie, that straight up just evaporated not only my soul, but whatever thought I was gonna say. Someone help. What was I gonna say beforehand? Meta owl thing? Oh, okay, so someone asked if I had seen the meta in Overwatch League. Okay, like, let's be honest with ourselves for like 2 seconds. Overwatch League is fucking stupid. Like, I hate to say it, but as somebody who's worked in the Overwatch League, God, one of these days, I'm just going to send all my former papers that I used to have, and I hope I have everything, because I don't know if I have everything. That's why I've always been scared of all the papers I used to have from when I worked for Boston, to see how many NDAs and how many things I can talk about, because there's like some of them that expired in 1 year, some expired in 3 years. One day, I'm going to be able to just open the fucking archive and talk about all the shit that I saw, because I saw some fucking shit, and I worked with some absolute fucking dumbasses. Well, like, I think most people know that the Overwatch League is pretty fucking stupid in a lot of ways. Not everyone. I think there's actually a lot of teams that are very smart, but there's also a lot of people that are not very smart. And unfortunately, the not very smart ones are a lot louder than the smart ones. Granted, want to know a great example? Going to YouTube for Overwatch League. Overwatch League jumped to YouTube around the time that YouTube was starting to, like, start to sign streamers, and, like, I think who did they sign first? They signed like Tim, maybe, or maybe someone before Tim, but like there was like a few people, like they were like Overwatch League and like YouTube, and they were talking about becoming like the new, like, YouTube was gonna be the esports hub. Hello, what the fuck, dude? What, dude, Overwatch League gets like 29,000 viewers now, dude. You literally sold out your viewership for fucking money, bro. Do you know how stupid that is? Do you know how much work it takes to build viewership, and you sold it for some cash? Dude, hello? Are you dumb as rocks? But, like, taking that even further, we like, there wasn't, like, no co-streaming. People, and I've heard from people wanted co-streaming, like, way before YouTube. Way before the YouTube deal. People wanted to have co-streaming with Overwatch League. They didn't want to do it. Then fucking Valorant did it, and Apex did it, and now everyone's like, oh, that would have probably been a great idea, and they did the YouTube co-stream in Overwatch League, but no, there's like fucking 4 Overwatch streamers on YouTube. There's like Samito, I think your Overwatch, I don't even know, does Nateson technically count? I don't know if Nateson technically counts, because he doesn't stream, he just makes videos every once in a while. And like Stylosa, like there's like nobody over there. Like, they're great YouTube channels, and I actually know all of them, except Stylosa, I don't know that well. But I know the other ones pretty well, and they're all like pretty smart individuals, and they would love to make content about it. But that's not where streaming lies. Point is, Overwatch League, I think, hard pressured the Overwatch dev team to get Overwatch 2 because their viewership was dying. Anybody want to know why Overwatch 2's viewership was dying last year? What's that? Because the game was dying? Oh, okay. That sounds like a great call. So they thought, hey, let's get ahead of the curve and get Overwatch 2 early. So they probably thought that Overwatch 2 was going to come out last year, like the rest of us did at one point. And so they were like, we'll get ahead of the curve and we'll get Overwatch 2 as our game. Well, then guess what? That's not what ended up happening. And even better, further beyond that, what happens when there's an esport that nobody can play? Nobody watches. Chat, I'm going to ask you a question. Whether you watch Overwatch League or you watch any other esport, do you watch an esport of a game you don't play unless it's extremely hype? Examples: Apex, its big event, or Valorant's last year when it was like had its massive event of the year. Does anyone watch any esports of a game they don't play? Yes, when I went to Evo, that was also an IRL event, so that's actually like kind of like a on the fence one. And I think that's actually where Overwatch League could have went crazy. Like, if COVID didn't happen, Overwatch League had a shot. Like, if COVID didn't happen, Overwatch League had a shot going into, like, the homestand format. Because homestands were lit. Like, I don't think they should have went straight to home and away format. I think they should have done, like, the year before, where it was, like, Dallas had a homestand, and then the next stage, then, like, I think Valorant or Valiant had a homestand, right? Like, a few of them a year. Huge. Teams made money. A lot of people went, they were hype, they were fun, dude, fucking W, right? But the problem started way before that. And forcing to play on Overwatch 2, a game that isn't completed yet, means that you're not going to get balance updates. You're not going to get fixes. The dev team and Blizzard is working on finishing Overwatch 2, right? Like, I think at this point, it's pretty well known that they are trying to push Overwatch 2 PvP to us as fast as they can, right? Because PvE is coming out like next year or in like 2023, right? They're trying to get Overwatch 2 in our hands as fast as possible to try to revive their game, keep the esport alive, keep content alive, try to keep like their player base alive. But they're not ready yet. Like Overwatch 2 PvP, I wouldn't even be surprised if like most people pick it up and they don't go like, oh, this doesn't feel that different. But the PvE, whenever that comes out, will blow people away. So if the dev team isn't working on balance patches because the game's not fucking done yet, where do you think these balance patches are going to come from for this esport that only the esport's playing on? Oh, the betas? The betas that are supposed to be the test and to see how things feel? They're not balanced. Dude, anyone can tell you from a mile away. Overwatch League being stuck on the Junker Queen meta thing is so ass for them. It's ass for viewership. But Overwatch League itself as a whole did that to them. They did it to themselves. Like, you can't even be mad. Yeah, sure, like, there were certain things like the bug with the overhealth that, you know, players or people reported to Blizzard and said, hey, there's this bug. But they're going back into development anyways. Like they're different entities. They're working on their own game, and the esport is technically separate. You know what I mean? Like, Overwatch League should not have jumped the gun and forced Overwatch 2 if they hadn't the information that the game wasn't going to be ready in time, you know? You can't buy standard Overwatch now. Everything is shifting in Overwatch 2. We're less than 2 months away, right? Be honest with yourselves. Like, not you yourselves. I'm talking about like if you were Overwatch League or whatever, right? Do you think that the dev team is going to come like drop everything they're doing to come over and fucking do like all these balance patches to shake things up when they're less than 2 months away from launching their game that was the biggest shooter of 2016 and arguably one of the best shooters of all time? I still think Overwatch is one of the best shooters of all time. There is not a game that has ever itched that or scratched that itch for me like Overwatch. They have a chance to try to revive it, to prove to not only themselves but the public and everyone else that they fucked up. They have a great game and they're going to try to fix it and make it better again. They have one shot. You get one shot at this. And they're going to go back and fix a patch for the Overwatch League that was too impatient to wait for them? Come on, man. Because, like, where does that stop? Let's say there was something wrong with Junker Queen and Junker Queen was OP. Then they nerf Junker Queen, and guess what? Something else pops up. Then they're like, oh, we need this too, you know? And it's like, that's from their point of view, at least I think. I don't know. That's at least my take on it. Is Overwatch League Overwatch League has been a train wreck of bad decisions. Like, not like necessarily teams. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of teams that don't make good decisions either, but as a whole. And I think they own that. I think they understand that, but it's like, when do we figure that out, you know, and try to fix that problem? To be honest, on all the shooters I played, Overwatch is pretty balanced between the heroes despite the variety in how they all play. Okay, this is gonna be like a very scalding hot take. I think when a game becomes too balanced, it becomes too boring. The only way something gets balanced is if there's not new variables being introduced. So the reason why Overwatch 1 feels so balanced, quote unquote, technically Overwatch 1 is pretty balanced. You can't play Ryan on every map, you can't play Winston on any map, but you can play certain comps in certain places, and there's certain things that are stronger, you know, but they do lose on certain maps, like King's Row Rush is pretty decent, but Double Shield also can beat it. But it's not unbeatable if it's like, you know, there's like, statistically speaking, Overwatch 1 is pretty balanced right now. But regardless, though, the reason why it feels so balanced, and probably on the numbers in the books looks so balanced, is because we haven't introduced any new variables in over 2.5 years. There's been no characters, no maps, nothing. So it gets to that point because nothing new comes in. So if a game is perfectly balanced, it's mostly because there's nothing new there. Now, you can also have a game that is pretty good balanced. I say Apex is a good example. Apex is pretty balanced right now, but they fucked up their rank system. So now their rank system is fucked up. But they're trying to make changes to make the game better. You know what I mean? So, like, the characters themselves are pretty good, okay, except minus Seer. But, like, they're trying to, like, fix things all at once. Yeah, the community finds different things that are broken, and they will nerf them as that goes along, but then new things get introduced that also throw it out of whack. So it's like, it's this constant game of whack-a-mole, and it just never ends, but some games are better at it than others, you know? And I think Overwatch could do it, but I don't know. Remains to be seen.